So I've just listed a few what I would call pitfalls. So I don't know if that's a particularly English saying, but it's basically things that could trip you up or go wrong in like a first interview instance. So I've put on there not answering the question. I've also put not researching the company, not giving relevant examples, not showing interest, and not showing your personality. So these are just a few things that I think people, especially if you're nervous, can often just forget not to do the simple things. So the first one of not answering the question, that I think is quite a common one, especially when I'm screening people. I will ask quite a simple question and people will go off and dance around the houses, and then come back. And I'm not saying that that's horrendously wrong, but if it's quite a direct question that doesn't entail a 10-minute explanation, then you don't need to do that. Like it's absolutely fine to be direct and to answer the question. That's not a problem, and often quite appreciated. So I think that's something, like I said, there is quite often a trip up with. Researching the company. Now that again is something that seems really obvious, but so many people don't do that. So you're interested, you've got a first interview, great. Go and do your research. Like go and look at what this company does, how long they've been running, who works for them, what departments they've got, where are they earning their most money, what is their product, like
investors.
Yeah, who are their investors? Be interested, because whoever you're talking to, they are most likely very passionate about this company. So if you come on and they ask you a question, you don't know the answer to that, that's like such a small thing that they're just going to think you don't really want this. So it's a really simple thing, but people often forget it. So definitely Google is your friend there. Giving a relevant example. Now, when I say this, you have to try and make things specific. So if you're asked a question again, try and bring it back to your own personal experiences. So give an example of when you've done something and be specific. Show that you have experience in that particular area, whatever it is. I would assume that you do, based on the fact that you've got the interview, so you obviously know what you're doing. So try and make it as specific as possible and give those relevant experiences that you've had that make you so right for this job. Be interested, so show enthusiasm. Don't I would say that body language is a lot, especially in this day and age where we're doing a Zoom call quite often as the first interview because we can't meet in person. So show enthusiasm, be interested. Don't sit there, arms folded, looking away from the screen. Try and be as engaging as possible, and really try and show interest. Again, nerves, I think, is a big part of this. So just try and be as confident in yourself as you possibly can. It's easier said than done, but practice does make perfect with this. And the more you talk to people, the more you engage with people, the better your confidence will become. And at the end of the day, it's just another human being that you're talking to. So don't let them make you feel any kind of way. You can be as confident as possible. And the last one that I've put is not showing your personality. So often the feedback that I get is that people aren't sure if they're the right cultural fit. Now that could just genuinely be because they're not the right fit. Like that can happen. Someone won't be right for everyone, and that's absolutely fine. But more often than not, it's because there is a lack of, I guess, expression from that person. Again, mainly due to nerves, that they haven't shown who they are. They haven't given that expression outside of themselves that they are this person and shown them exactly who they are as to whether they would be a good cultural fit. And I forgot to click one more along, so apologies for that. The last thing that I put was ask the interviewer questions. So I think this links back to being interested and showing engagement. When the interviewer says, "Are there any questions?" please say yes. The worst thing I think you'd be like is no, that there must be something. Like there's always something that hasn't been covered. And I think that there's always something that you want to know, even if it's down to like, what are the backgrounds of the people on your team? Like, is it a multicultural environment? There'll be something that they haven't covered that would be good for you to just show that you want to know more and you're still eager to find out a little bit more and dig a bit deeper. So whatever it is, I do always encourage my candidates to make a note of some questions that they want to find out. And obviously, if they all get ticked off throughout the interview, great. Then think of something on your feet quickly, have a backup. But I'm sure that there'll still be something left on your list by the end that you will want to ask and get make sure you get off your chest.
Preparation's key, right?
100%.
So if you're prepping for an interview, you're going to be doing that 1-2 days before. That's when you write your list of questions. And again, this goes back to researching the company as well.
Yeah, 100%. Danielle, you look itching to say something.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, from the other side of the table, I thought I would just maybe bring in a few things that I've seen. You go through, I always try to explain a little bit about the company, what we're doing. Of course, yes, we are very passionate about what we do, excited about what we do. And then I ask for questions. And when there's no questions, that really hurts. That feels like either, there's zero interest, or this person has not been listening to anything I've said. So that one definitely is very tied to the be interested. But I've also been coaching people for their interviews, and with always give a relevant example. I think if you can grab some questions and just practice and ask, and practice this with friends or people who know you well or your colleagues, I've helped people and their answers on the spot were not that great. And then when I asked them, oh, have you had experience like this? I'm like, oh yeah, I have. Like, yeah, that's what you should have said. And sometimes it's hard to think about it on the spot. But if you can practice like some of these examples, things that you're proud of or you think really showcase your experience or your motivation, things like that, like those are examples. Even if maybe they're not asking you the question, you can kind of weave in as a conversation. So just sort of at that point.